How you guys doing? Pouncer fell asleep again. He was awake right before we went live. And then he's like, bro, you know, I played all day. I ate a lot. Kind of tired. It's a weekend, so I think I'll take a little nap back here again. So what can I tell you? I hope everyone's doing well. I'm Jeff. He's Pouncer. And I forgot to tell you. Well, not that I forgot to tell you. I got it wrong. Pouncer is 13 weeks old. To be honest, I thought he was 11 weeks old. But that's kind of stupid because we have the same birthday, believe it or not. And believe it or not, Swaggers has the same birthday too. So Swaggers, Pouncer, and me were born on the same day. Go figure. So October 19th. Anyway, we hope you guys are doing well. Let's see who pops in today. We always get a nice crew. We seem to have a little mini international community here. We have people from everywhere in the world. And I don't know what's up, but well, maybe I do. Since I started posting Pouncer, what, like uh, 6 weeks ago, I guess. Um, this channel has had just a crazy surge in growth, and it's something that I don't even normally keep track of. But damn, I appreciate everybody loving Pouncer. He certainly brings a lot of joy to my life. He's so funny. He's just so funny. He does things all day that just crack me up. And wherever I go, he follows me. And I take him wherever I go. So, you know, the idea was to bond with him since he was a little baby. But man, it's been a greater bond than I could have. I'm trying to get you a better shot than I could have ever imagined. It's like when I'm not with him, like I really miss him. And he really misses me. And it's kind of nice. Can you see how he's got like those white spots behind his ears? Those are supposed to be like eyes. So if there's a predator behind them, they say, "Oh my goodness, what a big animal." I guess I won't mess with it. So who's around tonight? Let's see. Usually we're on around 8 p.m. or so. So it's later today, but I was kind of busy with some work stuff, and we have a lot going on. So we may be moving and all sorts of stuff. So a lot to plan, keeping us busy with Pouncer. You know, despite being so busy, I've been a little sick, and he's still been taking care of me. I tell you, man, he knows. He knows that I'm feeling down, emotionally or physically. Well, they tend to go hand in hand. He just takes care of me. He comes over. He's so gentle, and he'll put like his hand on my cheek and sort of pet me like I'm him. It's just adorable. He's a really good boy. I'm sorry you can't see him so well right now, but he'll wake up. I really hope so. Otherwise, he keeps me up all night. Hey, buddy, Pouncer, Pouncer. Ah, man, Pouncer. He sleeps like a zombie. He doesn't wake up. Who's a handsome boy? He's not waking up for me. Maybe if you guys say something, he'll wake up for you. But I know it's a bad view. He was walking around going nuts in the car before. And then, like, right when I went live, he just decided to go back up there and turn his back and take a nap. So go figure. What's that about, right? I was talking to him about Middle East peace and how fragile it is. He was listening. But then maybe I bored him. Maybe I just bored him to tears. Look at him, poor guy. He just fell asleep. But he's a good listener. I talk to him about everything. And it might sound crazy, but it feels wonderful. So who cares? He's a good listener. He'll just sit down next to me and, he's all he is, so to speak. I mean, Jesus, look at him. He can hear everything. When we're outside, like suddenly he'll just turn his head and there'll be something. I usually don't know what it is, but every once in a while I'll hear like a little click, but to him that's a loud noise, And he'll turn around and they get serval cats. They get so much sensory input that sometimes it seems like they're on overload. When they're outside. And today, while we were outside, someone was playing music, like weird music, like marching band music. So it had a lot of like high pitched sounds, and he didn't like that too much. Cats, just regular cats, are sensitive to high pitched sounds and loud sounds in general. So a lot of times you'll be sitting with your cat and your little brother's out there blasting the TV, and the cat's very uncomfortable, but we tend not to realize it. But they're very sensitive and they put up with us very well. Humans are noisy. But it's funny how curious he is about every little thing. Like wherever I go, if I go to the bathroom, he's in the bathroom. And suddenly, every single thing in the bathroom, things you wouldn't think about, like shaving cream, a toothbrush, is the most wonderful thing in the world. It's like you don't have to go out and buy him toys, even though I do. Everything around him is a toy. Any little piece of schmutz to him is a wonderful thing. And the way he'll just throw up a paperclip in the air and jump on it, it's like the nicest thing. There's so much to learn from them about finding joy in every little thing. I wish I could do it like him. And he sees the world because he's a baby. Everything is new, and there's something really cool about that too. It's just playing a small part in that is something. But for some reason, he just doesn't like our neighbor. He's my friend. I posted a video before. I can't believe this, but Pouncer scratched me in the face for the first time. I was holding him, and I asked the neighbor to hold the camera, and he did. I decided to make a little video, and Pouncer hissed. He only hisses at this guy, and he hissed, and then I guess he wanted me to let him go, and he turned around and he smacked me in the face. I don't think he meant to scratch me, but he did because I got to trim his nails. I always say that, never do it, but when I do it, it's when he's sleeping, and then he doesn't care at all. When he's awake, he cares a lot. But yeah, he didn't like it, man. I can't figure out what's up with that. I really can't. The things that I don't understand are there's two of them. Why he doesn't like our neighbor who loves him, and two, why the kitty cats that uh, Pouncer and I feed. Hey, welcome back to the world. Take it back. Why the kitty cats that we feed? Why don't they like Pouncer? He's so nice to them. I'm telling you, he tries so hard. He'll sit there. He always combs his hair and wears a tie, and yet they just outright reject him. I don't get it. You know, the redhead rejected him today. It was just terrible. And then he sort of, you know, he tried to play with her a little bit. And she wanted none of it. And even that redhead cat's mom, Katarina, who's such a sweetie, she won't pay any mind to him whatsoever. Even Clyde is one of my favorite cats. He's just sweetie. He doesn't. He's the only one that doesn't like. He doesn't walk away and reject them in an insulting way. But he just keeps eating his food. He doesn't mind if Pouncer's there. He's not mean though. Some of them are just straight up mean. I don't get it. A lot of racism going on. I hate to think Pouncer's mean to the neighbor for racial reasons, or that these cats are mean because he's a little different looking. He likes them, that's for sure. All he wants to do is incorporate himself with them. He wants to integrate with them and just be part of it, but they just won't. They just won't let him. I can't believe it's actually a thing. I never thought like something like that would actually be like a real thing. And it's not me sort of anthropomorphizing it like it's real. Watch the video, you'll see. He's so gentle with them. They just don't want any part of it. Although I guess, at first, when he was sitting there with them, when he was 7 weeks or whatever, he was like their size, but a big kitten. He's still a big kitten, but now he's bigger than them. So maybe it was weird for them to see like a kitten instead of being little, being so big. Maybe they just sensed that, or maybe something else. I don't know, but it just hasn't worked out. So there are other cats that he knows, but he wants to be friends with these cats because they live here, and they really are very sweet. They just aren't sweet with him. They're sweet with people, and honestly, that was hard because they were feral cats, and when we moved here, I just, I thought it'd be the right thing would be to try to take care of them. So I feed them. I can't let them inside the house because there are things in my house that would kill them right away. But um, slowly as I was feeding them, I started to touch them, a little bit at a time. I mean, first it was just a question of getting closer and closer, and then eventually I started to touch them, and now I can pet them, all except for one, well, maybe two out of six. So 4 out of 6 are doing very well, and I'll get the other ones. I'll win them over. But last night we were on here for 2 hours. We had some really nice conversations with a whole bunch of people from so many countries. It blew my mind. It was really cool. But, maybe we're on a little bit too late tonight. I don't know. If you don't know, Pouncer is an African serval cat, and I got him because I own his dad. So his dad, his name is Swaggers, he's now in Alabama, and he's breeding. So when you own the male cat, and he's the stud, you can get either a stud fee or you can get a kitten. I mean, that's the usual arrangement. Hang on 1 second. It's getting cold. So I wanted the money, but once I got there, Pouncer pounced right on me. He jumped on me like he wanted a hug. And like they say, they choose you, so he chose me. There was this guy on here yesterday who said something funny. He says, like, there are animals you own and animals that own you, but cats consider you staff. That's so well put. And if you want to follow Pouncer on Instagram, he's Baby Pouncer, and then he has another account, Baron, which is mine, Baron Bolo Jeff, the way it sounds, BERIMBOLO Jeff, JEFF. And I'm on Facebook, Jeffrey Leibowitz, LEIBOWITZ. And you're always welcome to hit us up, and we'll send you a video of Pouncer saying hello to you. Swaggers used to do something called a hissogram, where he would hiss for individual people, and they loved that. We're going to do something where Pouncer gives you his portograph. Put his paw in something, and then, what would be a portograph? An autograph, but with this paw. And we'll send that over to you, just for fun. It's not like we're going to charge or anything. What was that? I heard that too, buddy. What was that? It sounds like something hit something. Oh, it's one of those big mail trucks. I wonder why it's here now. It's okay, baby. It's okay, baby. I'm glad you're awake. Who's that handsome boy? Wake up. Wake up, baby. Man, when he is sleepy here, and he sleeps when we're here, he is so nuts all night when we go inside. And you gotta sort of play him out. You gotta just play to get him exhausted. But it's so hard to get him exhausted. It's hard to get him even tired, because all they do, several cats, they just play. That's their MO in life. They just play, right? He's just ignoring me. What do you see, buddy? What do you see? A truck? He's not big on trucks. One thing he doesn't like one bit of garbage trucks. But I tell you what he's good with, and Swaggers hates. I'm using the word, I'm saying hate. Swaggers hates. Most servals hate the vacuum. But Pouncer doesn't care, And part of it, I guess, is when he was very little, I tried to vacuum so that he wouldn't be scared. And now he just, when they turn it on by accident, like all cats do, then they scare themselves. But otherwise, he doesn't leave the room even. He just watches, which is kind of cool because they do have such sensitive hearing. Pouncer! He just ignores me. I couldn't believe it, man. Today was the first day he ever hit me. And he scratched me. I don't know, man. I don't know. I was saying before, I just can't believe it. I was holding him, and the neighbor, who he doesn't seem to like very much, who loves him, was making a video, and Pouncer started to hiss at him, which he always does. He doesn't hiss at anyone except this neighbor. And then, he wanted me to let him go, and so he hit me. I couldn't believe it. It's the first violent act. You got a little bit of swaggers in you, huh? Pouncer. He's so sweet. I have never known a quote wild animal to be as sweet as this. I mean, ridiculously sweet. He's such a good boy. I know I say it too much, but he's just such a good boy. Wherever I go, he is, and he's doing something funny, and he's also very loving. And I'll lie down sometimes in the living room, and he'll run and jump on my face, which sounds just terrible. But he's so gentle about it. Like he lands with his toe beans, but he's always so gentle. It never hurts me at all. You know? Let me get rid of this guy. There's always some nut saying some crazy stuff. But I'm surprised we don't have our usual crew. I may not stay on much longer, but that's okay too. It's Saturday night. I hope they're out having fun. Pouncer, are you a party dude? Benzo, your arms look like a raw hamburger. But that was the first violent act. I don't know, man. See, you woke him up with that. You made him feel guilty. Pouncer, stay awake. Yeah. But I would gladly keep my arms like hamburger because, now he hasn't scratched me like that in a few days because, I can control it. I could just not scratch his belly or wear the glove or whatever, trim his nails better. But, I don't really care. It makes him happy. So I don't care. It becomes noticeable. It looks like Jesus' hand. Well, both of them. But this one's much better. Well, where is it? This one. See how much better it is? Well, when it's that close, it doesn't look better. This one is the bad one. But it's also much better if you've been following. So, how you doing, Benzo? Looks like it might just be you and me tonight. So, tell me something. What animals do you have? Dogs, cats, snakes, lizards, what? Normally we got people on here with everything. Pouncer loves to hear it too. Ginger tabby, oh, that's cool, man. They're beautiful. I've been wondering today. I belong to like a million cat groups, and they have cat groups like black cats and orange cats, and I know that different breeds behave differently, but the cats that are just different colors that already have so many breeds in them, like, do they really act differently? Like in the orange cat chat group, do they really believe that orange cats behave so differently than black cats? And vice versa? I don't know. I don't know. I love black cats and I love orange cats, but I haven't noticed such a difference in their behavior. But that's just me. Yeah, me neither. But it's kind of cute that they have pages for them. I like them too, and I know what they're talking about in a sense. But I don't think their behavior is as different as they claim it to be. They treat the color as if it's a breed with its own intrinsic qualities. I just don't see that. They're all so different, man. It's not like orange cats all act the same way. I had one named Neelix who was a big, just mushy, loving cat who slept on my belly every night. And I've had other ones that were, not quite like that. The only one I could sort of say that I have now is Goldie. She lives outside. She's very sweet. And so she has orange, but her mom doesn't really have much orange. So to me, it's just kind of silly. I mean, it would mean that the father does, but it could also be a recessive trait. Who the hell knows? It's just kind of silly. But speaking of colors, man, I tell you, Pouncer, he every day he's outside and he's trying to make friends with the cats outdoors that I feed. They're very tame now, but they want no part of him. They just reject him straight up. I don't get it. Everything outdoors and more. How you doing? What happened to not dead? Not dead yet is alive and well. Still not dead yet. I appreciate your asking that. Uh, it'll be back. Um, the snakes will all be back. It's just that when I got Pouncer, he's a little baby, and several babies. There's only a limited time that you have for them to bond to you, and I guess you to them. So I have other people taking care of my snakes in 3 different places, which is weird for me, because I believe in handling them every single day. But this is very important. It's Swagger's son, and he means so much to me. And I know they're in good hands now. But let me just tell you, there's a lot of snakes that have come in. I mean, a lot, almost almost more than I've ever had, almost. And I'll be getting back to that. Don't worry. But for now, I'm really happy doing this, and I think it was the right decision. And Swaggers is in Alabama. They're all over there. So, I only have a few animals here, which is good. The ones that can get along with him. What happened to not dead yet? How are you doing? Everything outdoors? You having a good night? It's funny, man. Like people will text each other or like show up on a live, but at the same time they're at a bar or restaurant. You should see how many people do that on these lives. They're out. I mean, this one girl was out dancing and she's texting us here. Like, how does she even do that? Like, how could you be dancing and texting Pouncer the cat? I don't get it. And what do you call someone who loves Pouncer? I guess we're gonna call them Pouncerists or Pouncerites or something. I don't know. There should be a word for them. I feel like you guys deserve some sort of a title. Pouncer, wake up, bro. I got a bad whistle, but I feel like if I had a blowhorn, he wouldn't wake up. There was a YouTube thing that came out today, a post, and on some survival channel that has like millions of subscribers, and it was on inland taipan bites, and I couldn't believe. I was so happy to see they didn't include me, but I really couldn't believe it. And like in a way, you could say they sort of missed something by not putting it in. I was very, very happy and very relieved, but I couldn't believe it. It was something like surviving the deadliest snake bite or something like that. Um, and they had the very few people that were bitten, but like in my case there's actual video of me getting bit, and it's been in international news like just forever. It's just been just relentless. I'm just so happy but amazed. I can't believe they did something on inland taipan bite, something that specific, that didn't include me. The comments did, but I left a comment, which I rarely do, saying thank you for not including me. But there were some things that I felt weren't accurate, and one of them was that when you get bit by inland taipan, you just start having symptoms right away and you die within 30 seconds, which is something that it can't be true, because there are like 9 or 10 other people that have survived it. But in my case, I was bit, and I was probably bit twice if you watch the video, and I didn't have symptoms for 2 hours. So there were some inaccuracies in it, but it also had some interesting things regarding the myotoxicity that they have. So I mean, they're hemotoxic, neurotoxic, myotoxic, and man, you feel every toxin, like the neurotoxin just shuts you down, and oh man, you feel it. It's just the worst thing in the world. But just like when a boom slang bites you, you'll bleed out every hole in your body. That's the common thought. Well, I'm sure that's true now because the Taipan has, more hemotoxicity, and I was bleeding out every hole in my body. And man, I could tell you stories about that experience, but I don't want to because it, you know, sucks to think about. But yeah, that was something, man. Not being in the video for once, it was wonderful. The only person that's really never criticized me, that's a YouTuber, is Pouncer. And Chandler. Chandler was the one guy who said, maybe we should be trying to get this guy anti-venom and some sort of help instead of, making memes, making fun of a guy who was dying. He was the only one, and I've thanked him for that. But there also were a lot of crazies. So in this time that I've been away from the venomous snake community and sort of watching Pouncer grow up and spending so much time with him, it's been nice. It's been a nice little hiatus from all the craziness. And hopefully things just will eventually settle down and I'll stop getting death threats and people every day sending me message after message saying that they hope that I die and I'm the reason that there's going to be increased legislation, which hasn't happened. So it's been nice, man. It's just been like a break from all the craziness. It's also been sort of healthy because I take Pouncer to like a different park, or to two different parks a day. So it's been fun. What's up, Denny? Appreciate having you. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm here too to tell a story. Boy, was I close to not being able to. You know, that bite like that. I don't know if anyone ever had a bite like that. Like two and then Taipan bites. There's no words. It shuts down everything in your body, and you just see black, and you're in absolute agony, and it's like you're on fire from the inside and the outside, and someone's breaking your bones, and at the same time you're bleeding everywhere and foaming at the mouth, and you're convulsing, and your heart stops, and you're intubated. Just such a long list of other things that you can't imagine. The hallucinations were just insane, and the hallucinations hurt. Just absolute agony, and yet I'm alive thanks to the efforts of many people. Many of whom didn't really know each other. It was like a team effort by people who never met each other. But there's one man named Thad Bowman who he's like the main hero here, and I never got to thank him. And I can't wait to, but he's the one that went and he drove the anti-venom from Florida to McLeod Hospital in South Carolina. And, he didn't have to do that. I don't know if he even got anything for it, but he drove so long, so far, and, you know, he's a hero, and he'll always be a hero to me. The doctors were amazing. Like, thank God, man. I got so lucky. Like, my doctors actually, the ones that were on duty when I got there, they actually knew about snake bites, and usually they don't. What doctor would know about an elapid from Australia? They might know about rattlesnakes and copperheads and sidewinders or whatever that's indigenous. But the fact that they would know about something so exotic, and to understand what antivenom they needed, and to have it on the way, and to know what Venom 1 is, like, the whole thing was just a miracle. And the nurses, also, my friends, like my real life friends, so many of whom are from jiu-jitsu, it matters, man. Like, when the hardest part was over, when I became conscious, like, every one of them would call and would be with me, like, on a, what do you call it, like, FaceTiming. And they just were so loving and sweet, and my family, I'm just so blessed and lucky. And I became good friends with those nurses, man. The nurses were amazing. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know how many male nurses there were these days. I didn't know. I'm just out of touch. But they were amazing. They're all wonderful. When people ask you who loves you, well, the people that wipe your butt, they love you. Not many people would do that. and yet they do it all day for many people. But it was something, and I was hallucinating hard. I was seeing things that I thought were real for weeks, and they weren't real. And I took video of the first time I got dialysis. I saw this green, like these weeds, these green, like seaweed everywhere, and I took video of it, and I couldn't believe people didn't see it, and I was mad that they couldn't see it. I thought they wouldn't see it, and I took video. And looking at the video now, it's like there was nothing going on. I was completely hallucinating, and for a while, I truly believed that the hospital was experimenting on me. They were doing like torturous experiments, that things that were just not necessary, just to see how much pain I could take, because I was hallucinating. And looking back, there were some procedures that were done. I don't really know what they were doing. I just know the hallucination. And there was one time when I was in this room, and the nurse, she did in reality hook me up to some machine, and I don't know what it was in real life. I think it was something to prevent bed sores, but in the hallucination, and the hallucination was real. That's what I was really feeling. It was pulling my limbs, like it was like quartering me. When you have horses on all four limbs that are pulling you, it was just terrible. And I thought that the bed was attached to a machine, and that the mattress and blanket was wrapping around my legs and arms and stretching me like in a cross position. And whether that was real or not doesn't matter. The pain was real. And I started yelling at her, and she's like the sweetest person in the world, just the nicest woman, Susie. And I said, turn this damn machine off. Does this seem right to you? Does this seem right? Is this something that you consider to be moral, experimenting on a person like this? And then she said, look, there's no machine. And I couldn't believe it. That was like the one time someone said something. If you tell someone they're hallucinating, if you become aware of the fact that what you're seeing is not real, that can be like such a traumatic thing. What's up, Jessica? How are you? So yeah, man, it was, and I've been in hospitals many times near death, and the skydiving thing, and the karate tournament thing, and crashing a motorcycle, and I had malaria in the Middle East, and once I had cholera, and I was in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, and I got cholera, and I went to Hadassah Hospital in Israel, and man, I came close to dying. That was another time when I was out for a week, but I didn't. When I was unconscious in the hospital here, I had no idea. Like, I was intubated, and I thought it was for an hour. And when they took it out, man, it's just disgusting when they take it out. You start to heave in the worst way. It hurts. And, when you're in pain anyway, it's just, and you think you can't take any more pain, that it wouldn't be possible, but it is. And I woke up, and I thought it was an hour later. I was certain it was an hour later, but it was like a week later. And I didn't know that till recently. I didn't know until I went to see like a regular doctor, not a kidney doctor, my primary doctor. And he started showing me the notes. There were things in it I couldn't believe, things that I didn't know, crazy things. The doctors told me that they have seen many people that were sick that died, and yet they said they never saw anyone that was as sick as me, that had so many things going so wrong, that had such bad blood work, and yet somehow here I am. But as I watched that video, I'm starting to really think that it got me twice. If you watch the video, you'll see. And I remember getting sort of pricked a little bit, and then getting bit. But now looking back, if I hadn't gotten bit, if it was just that little prick, I think that was enough, man. Because it did pierce the skin, and even the bite, what I'm calling the bite, it didn't cause any bleeding or anything. It was just, an unimpressive bite. You don't. It wasn't like a rattlesnake bite where you have necrosis and so on. You see nothing. But for 2 hours, nothing happened, and then I was reading a book, And suddenly I felt very strange, and slowly things got much, much, much worse. And that's when I called an ambulance, and I couldn't speak anymore. I tried to make a video asking for antivenom to post in my chat group, and I have that video. I've never posted it, and when you look at it and you see me speaking, it's like if you saw the Wolf of Wall Street, when Leonardo DiCaprio and what's his face when they're on Quaaludes, Jonah Hill, and they couldn't speak, just barely. It's just like that. And looking at it, man, it was so crazy. It was so crazy. And when I got to the hospital, I was speaking like that. Just it was so hard to speak. I was trying to tell the doctor to get a certain kind of antivenom, but he knew, and I didn't know that he knew, because usually the doctors don't know about exotic snakes, and especially one this rare. But this guy really did, man. He's just a hero to me, and he has a little sidekick, this um, little woman who is another genius, and they're like a really good team. And man, when they came to visit me, it was like the best thing. Yeah, like a week later, when I was conscious, they came to see me, and you can't express that kind of gratitude. What do you say? What do you say to someone like that? And when I was talking to him that way, when I could barely speak, I knew I was passing out. I wanted to pass. I wanted just to let go, just to pass out. But I was trying so hard to stay awake. I knew I had very little time left to stay awake, but I was just trying so hard to tell him to get antivenom because I didn't know that he knew what kind of snake it was. But they knew from the 911 call, I guess. I don't really remember much of that, but I do remember being in the ambulance for some reason. And when I was in the ambulance, I was in so much pain, and every little bump, every tiny bump, just even on like a relatively smooth street, was causing me extra agony, and the pain started getting worse and worse and worse. But the conversation with that doctor, that's something I'll never forget. I could barely say anything, and he kept saying to me, "Let's do it, let's do it." He wanted just to like get to work on me. I don't know what he wanted to do, but he was very ready, and I just kept sort of stalling, and looking back, it was pretty stupid to waste that time. But thank God for him. I wish I could remember his name, but I only heard it once. They're amazing people. Anyway, Pouncer has become a star, man. I don't really take my YouTube channel too seriously. I don't really make money from it, but we had like 35,000 subscribers or something from swaggers and snakes and things like that. It started with swaggers and got into snakes, but when Pouncer came on, man, it like almost doubled in just a couple of weeks. It went up to like 60 something thousand. So, I don't even normally keep track of it, but now I'm looking at it like, oh my God, maybe we really should make actual, long form videos because we could probably make some money from it now. So, why not do that? Let me answer that question. The reason that I don't do it or haven't done is because we do this for fun. This was always meant just to be for fun. It wasn't for money, and I don't want to. I don't want to make it about money, but at the same time, I do feel like why not, But I just feel like it's a fine line. I don't want the tenor of it to change. Meanwhile, he's just sleeping here. You're awake. Good. Come here. Idiwa. That means come here in Korean. Talahena. That's come here in Arabic. Umar bente baka. That's come here in Spanish. I mean, nothing works. Baby, come on, come here. See what I'm saying? He won't listen in any language. What are you going to do? So how are you, Jessica, if you're still there? I can't believe how few people we have on compared to last night. Last night it was like half the planet was on. So it's kind of nice when there's just a few also. And, hey, you're awake! Yay! It's Baby Pouncer! Stay awake! Stay awake! I want him awake because otherwise all night he's gonna drive me crazy. Put your ears up. Put your ears up. Now why'd you hit me, buddy? Hey, Pouncer! Wake up! Damn, you would think with those ears. Pouncer! Baby Pouncer! Sir! Capitan! Hombre! Tío! He's just not listening. He hears, but he's not listening. I tell you what, though. We're going to get off, and I guess we'll go live on Instagram or something for a little bit. We may come back. I don't know. It's funny how few people there are. Denny, he says nope. He does. How you doing, Denny? It's been so quiet tonight. I can't believe it. You know how it is normally. Pouncer, Pouncer, stay awake. Stay awake. Come on, baby, stay awake. Just by the way, do you know Pouncer is 13? I'm good. Hey, happy donkey. We're good. You know, Pouncer, I got this wrong. Just for being an idiot. Pouncer is 13 weeks old. I was thinking 11. And I should know because we have the same birthday. He's 13 weeks old. Can you believe that? I mean, just a day ago, he was 7 weeks old. How could he be so big? And man, has he grown. He goes through these crazy growth spurts, What's the word with you, donkey? By the way, Pouncer got a donkey. And does he love it? He just loves it. It's like a donkey toy for a dog. And before, when I went to bed, I went to take a nap. The donkey was in the bed. He put it in the bed so that I could play with him while I was just falling asleep. But yeah, we're good. We're good, just having fun. Taking it easy, but having fun. Just slowly getting back into the swing of things. Slowly but surely. Ah, yeah, you awake to that, huh? Alright, give me a second. I gotta do my energy drink thing. Now, you better be a good boy. Because otherwise, man, you're gonna drive me nuts again. And I appreciate that you wanna play and everything. But there comes a point, like at 4:30 a.m., that's a point where Daddy wants to sleep, bro. And you're a little bit obsessed with that toy. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. I'm happy that you like it. But, bro, you jump on my face a lot. And when you're sleeping and someone jumps on your face, man, it's quite a sensation. So if you would not do that tonight, that would be wonderful. I won't tell anyone. Don't worry. Alright, let's see. We're back. Alright, Danny, have a nice night, bro. Thanks for popping in. We're gonna probably check out. It's just kind of quiet tonight. I can't believe you're awake. Good, stay awake. I used to go through this with Swaggers. Swaggers would be insane at night, man. Swaggers would, when animals, like when a cat goes to your kitchen and starts knocking down pots, it's because they're bored, because they haven't played enough, or they haven't had enrichment. The Swaggers would play outside, inside, and he would do his enrichment, and still at night he needed to, do his destruction. So he would just walk around and knock pots down. He would drive me insane, and I'm telling you, he did it just to spite me. But Pouncer here, he's much better that way. He just likes to destroy things like when I'm near them. So he's got this new habit, this toilet paper habit. If you have toilet paper in your hand, he will jump out of nowhere and take it. And if you don't have toilet paper in your hand, if you're in a different room, he will go and take the toilet paper and bring it to you, which makes no sense, but he does. And sometimes he'll take it and then he'll just hide it. And then he'll take another roll and hide that too. And pretty soon you're like, where's the toilet paper? And Pouncer knows, but he hides it. So he pranks you. I'm telling you, servals prank you. Swaggers will go behind my head when I'm sleeping. I sleep on this couch when we're in the trailer when we go to North Carolina. And he just hits me in the head with his foot. He just hits me in the head. And I turn around and he's just smiling at me, just laughing. He thinks it's so funny. Now, Pouncer doesn't do that. He just jumps on my face when I'm falling asleep. Yeah, you do. But he doesn't keep doing it when I am sleeping. Once I turn over and fall asleep, he's sort of cool, except he always wants to bite my toes. I don't know what is it with cats and toes, man, but he loves biting my toes. Oh, it's so annoying. And it's not just him. It's like all cats. I had this cat when I was in college named Garfield, this orange cat, and he was sort of a dick. He would just, go under the covers. He would wait for me to go to sleep. When I was sleeping, he'd go under the covers, and he would just sink his teeth right into my toe. Just as hard as he could. Man, that would wake me up. But then they look at you and it's like you can't get mad. It's like you should be mad, but it's just you don't. Anyway, I think we're gonna check out. So, if you guys that came, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We'll be back tomorrow, but at our normal time. I guess it's just a bad time. Maybe people are all out. I don't know, but we appreciate you guys who are here. And anyway, the overwhelming majority of people, they come. Wild Star, I didn't know you were here. Have a good night. The overwhelming amount of people, when you're on live, don't watch it live. Like last night, there were like 4,000 people that watched it. I don't think they watched it during the live, though, so whatever. But it's always, I like to share our experiences, live. Anyways, have a nice night. We love you guys. Thank you for supporting Pouncer and for sharing in his journey as he becomes a big boy. Good job, Pouncer. You're a YouTuber, buddy. You're a